glorify you, Jesus. Magnify you, Lord. You're worthy of the glory, Lord.
The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Last week, we concluded with the fact that your mentality of prayer should be that it is always connecting you to the rewarder. And as I was putting things together, I approached some things last week in study time and felt the Lord wanted me to deal with you some more about the mentality of prayer before we actually get into prayer. So we're digging deeper into the mentality of prayer. I say that because with those that were here on Thursday evening, if you remember when I was talking about people were just leaving their homes to go do their job, they were just leaving their homes to go to Bible study, they were just leaving their homes to just go in normal, what seems to be everyday life. And at about 7:10, there was something going on in a movie theater. And that was a shooting taking place pretty much around the same time that I was saying that. And in that happening, because when I started to see the information, I was like, all I could do was shake my head, because once again, it's stuff that we end up taking so for granted that we take our mentality off of what we should be able to detect. And see, when I got here this morning and Brother Quincy's truck wasn't here, and then my first response was I looked at my phone to see, had he called, had he done anything? And when that wasn't there, I said, okay, that's not normal. Now, the only reason I'm making mention of that is because there are detections in your spirit that you need to understand when things aren't normal. You need to know what's going on. Now, I knew that wasn't normal, but I knew he was okay. I wasn't worried about whether or not he was going to be okay or okay in the situation. What I was looking at was the outcome and the function is not normal to his regular standard. So when you walk into a building and you feel a different sense, you need to pay attention to what's going on around you. That's not being scared. That's being aware of your surroundings. Because it's those types of things that you have to recognize. God's letting you know, hey, something's different. Even if it says leave, even if it says go by. See, because last night, I was asleep. Angela came home and she had went out with her parents, and she'd ate something, and that started to cause her to feel a little bit sick. She's fine. She's just taking a day off. So I went back to sleep and woke up starving. Like, what's going on with this? 12:10. Why? Why am I hungry? So I tried to lay back down. I tried to go back to sleep. Wasn't happening. So I'm like, fine. So I wake up, and the kids was fixing something. I'm like, what y'all doing up? It's like, all right. So I'm going through stuff in my head, what I want to eat. It's like, okay, I want Arby's. So I'm going to go to Arby's. So I'm going to Arby's because the truck stop Arby's. The regular one don't stay open that way. The truck stop. Truck stop Arby's stays open 24 hours. So I'm on the way over there. Lord said, you need to stop by Quality Inn. I'm like, first off, I would be asleep right now. Why do I need to come by here? So I went, ordered my food, getting ready to pull back out. He said, you need to pull in there and you need to stop by, check on who's there. Because I didn't know who was going to be here. So I come in, and it's one of the guys named Matt that works here. He was the one watching the desk. Max lost a lot of weight. I said, well, how you doing, man? I said, I just, I'll be back here in a few hours, but the Lord told me, stop by here. I said, so what's shaking? What's going on? He said, well, I was in the ER last week. He said, I've been having some trouble with kidney stones, and I can't seem to get rid of them. They've been going on since I was 19. He said, and that's been almost 19 years ago.
Wow.
I said, okay. I said, I hear you. Forgive me. I said, got anything like that going on with anybody else in your family? He said, nope, nobody else. He said, he said, I'm the only one that this has been coming at like this. He said, nobody else in my family even has a trace of having a kidney stone. I said, okay. I said, anything else going on? He said, no, man. He said, I'm sure you'd be glad to hear this. He said, since Easter, I ain't missed church. I said, okay. I said, so I'll tell you what, I said, before I leave, I said, let me do this. So I prayed with him right out there in the lobby. And as I got to thinking, I said, okay, he's setting to change this man's destiny. Giving him a connection with somebody who he's comfortable with letting this information out to. That knows how to call on change. And if I had of went on home, who knows what the outcome would be? He'd probably been fine. But what if not? And then I find out something happens that night, at that time, there I'd be. Because I can't act like I didn't hear him. I can't act like I didn't know what I was hearing. I can't act like that these things were not all normal trends outside of normal. So when you start to feel those things, I'm not telling you to be scared. I'm telling you, pray. And say, what is this? Wait, what is this? What am I feeling? And then I'm going to take you down another road, because this one may get painful today, okay? I hadn't I hadn't had to tell you that in a while, but this one probably going to get painful. But what you want to not do is start out saying, Lord, what do you want me to do? Notice, I didn't say not to ask. I said don't start out